that person until the person is established. But it will not become something that will become forever. Now, that person will become a parasite. But there are lives that in our journey that we have been a blessing to. A time will come, we will now call you and say, brother, I think it's time for God to help you. You need to know what to do so that you can be financially independent. You depend on the Lord and be able to be a blessing to others. So you were speaking about a flow. Drinking Christ, drinking the wine, which is Christ, Abi, which is his blood, his person, and the Spirit of God. And from that place it will flow out. I still believe that you also must also be a channel to others, not only with the anointing. You don't say you are a Christian, you are only the pond. Only you want to receive. You don't give out. See, if you keep receiving, even as a pastor, and you don't give out, your second name will be poverty. Poverty will deal with you so much. I have told ministers, don't be the one that keep collecting and don't flow out. By God's grace, some of us, and most of the elders in the faith I've met, they are channels. Some of them can even give the last money in their pocket to meet a need, and they are trusting God. So you must always be a channel. So if I see a brother that always perpetually depends on somebody to be the one, say it's your financial destiny, and he continues, that is where I told them in the fellowship, somebody will just come up like this, he will go and, they say share with one another. So he calculates for first 30 days, and the fellowship, this morning, breakfast, this afternoon, you go from house to house, you calculate it. That's a parasite. Do you understand that? So that is what I believe that we should not do. So you can be led to be a blessing to others, but never believe that somebody's destiny financially is tied to you. Our life is tied to the Lord. That's what we are reading this morning. We are tied. Judah was tied to the vine. Once somebody begins to be tied to you, you are taking the place of Christ. So nobody should be tied to anything. Is it not true? Them to stay back so that if there are, we have answered all the questions that came from them. The message that have come from that day till now, from on Tuesday up till now. Have we answered any of your questions? All of your questions? Abi? Okay, so we thank the Lord for that. Now, secondly, please, I want to plead with you. By God's grace, the last day of the feast is very critical. So I would like to advise each one of us to be available for this last day of the feast. There are questions that I saw on marriages. I'll talk with Prof. We'll be able to, particularly for singles, I saw some questions on that. We'll see what to do to slot it in, if there is space. If there is, during the vigil. If there is. But if there is no space, we may know the person that asked that question and answer the question personally. Is that okay? Is that okay? The Lord will bless us mightily. And let me also, I was very stubborn. And I did some things that my dad and my parents, they were not really happy. But my dad came to a point that he almost saying, this one is not my son, the way he's going. And one day, I can't forget that this pastor told my dad, he said, I was younger then, I was just a teenager. And he said, leave this person, he's going to be a pastor. It was 2 years after that.